Good morning, Rising Vibes. I am coming to you from the rock. Um, if this is the first time that you're ever seeing any of my videos, I would encourage that you watch the other ones. I'm doing this to spread knowledge. I'm not doing this for fame or money. If you are a vegan or a vegetarian and you got a friend request from me, the reason why is because I like to say a vegan, but I still eat cheese. So I am a vegetarian. I'm working on getting rid of my cheese love. But I did it because I wanted everybody to see that us vegetarian vegans, we are awake, and it has to do with eating life. And I want to share the knowledge. I want to increase the vibrations of this whole world. I'm Rising Vibes. And so, if you want to share your story or if you have any questions, I picked the people that I picked that I sent a friend request to. So, if that's one of your questions and I haven't gotten around to answering it yet, that's why. I would like to get everybody to share their story. Because if you share your story, you show others that this is real and this is not just Bob the Builder, Joe Blow, or Mary Sue that's doing this. It is real people like you and me. And watching people's growth is amazing. If you think about it and you watch American Idol, you're watching that person's growth throughout the whole season. And then you're like, wow, they really got good. Like, they really wanted it. Yes, they did. Because their vibrations, music is vibrations. And so if they have their vibrations to a certain point where they attract, yes, this is a secret. I'm sorry, I'm letting it all out. It's not about how pretty your voice sounds. It's about how in tune with the vibrational sequency you are doing. It's not about sounding like Mariah Carey, even though I always wanted to sound like her. It's about reaching the vibrations you want. Just like you'll hear somebody on the radio and you're like, I could sing better than that, and really what you're really saying to yourself, that is good. You could sing better than that, but you're talking to yourself because you're like, well, I know I'm a good singer, but deep down inside, you feel like you're not. Or you heard one criticism and you didn't know how to detach it. But that's for another subject in a different time. So what I'm getting to is you learn how to control your vibrations. Now, I had a question from a guy, and he was telling me that he had went on this date 4 times with this girl that he really likes, and then she just ghosted him. And he wanted me to try to see if I could figure out why she would have ghosted him. And I told him, I said, now, I am not saying that you are not truthful, and I'm not saying that you're not knowledgeable, but if I ask you the questions of like, how did it go, what went on, I am only going to catch the obvious parts of why this date, the 4th date, didn't turn into a 5th date, or you got ghosted and all of a sudden not answering phone calls, not answering text messages, none of that. So I asked him if he wouldn't mind if I called her. And so I had called her, let her know why I was calling, and I told her, and she was very cooperative, which is really cool. And apparently our vibrations were, kind of matching. At first it was like, okay. And I'm like, I am calling, and I just want to know so I can share to, my viewers and to other people that are like, why did I get ghosted? And I asked her, I said, okay, so what happened on the 4th date that made it where you ghosted him? Was he inappropriate? She said no. And I was like, okay, was, his breath stinky. You know, I'm hitting the obvious points. I'm like, did you find women's clothing? Did you, like, what is it? And she told me that he had forgotten something. And so they had to go back to his house. And he lives with his parents. Now, he lives in Colorado, which in Colorado, the cost of living is one of the highest in the United States. But, you can make it happen. You have to have 3 times the amount of, income in order to rent a place, apartment, or house. And your best bet is to buy. Buy property. If you can do that, save up your money and buy a house here. It is cheaper to buy than it is to rent, because next thing you know it, you've lived here for just a few years and you paid enough to buy a house somewhere else. So, I understand living with the parents, but it was the fact that he did not come clean to her right off the bat and tell her, hey, I live with my parents. And so when I went to talk to him, because she asked if we could 3-way, so that way she could answer to him, because she didn't realize how big it was that he would reach out for somebody else's help to try to figure out why, to try to help fix himself. And so we 3-wayed, and of course he went into defense mode. And I told them both, I was like, look, so now you guys know the story and everything else, but vibrations are going to be lowered, and let's kind of raise them a little bit. I was like, look here, sir. I was like, this is what really is the root to it. Because it's not that you're living with your parents. It's that you were trying to hide the fact that you were living with your parents. And then you're trying to call them roommates. So, of course, he wasn't very happy, but it's like I told him. I says, you could still get everything you want as long as your vibrations are true, And I don't know if they're ever going to talk again. I might have been reuniting people that might have been twin flames but weren't the right fit yet, because one was evolved and the other one wasn't. I don't know. That is up for their story, and hopefully they will share it. But it comes down to, if you want to know why you were ghosted and you feel like something is wrong with you, start fixing every flaw that you see in yourself, not society, that you see in yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't try to match up to, society or anything else, because if you do, then next thing you know it, you're sitting here and you're getting like the greatest trend clothing, and the next day it's totally different. And you're spending all this money running around chasing somebody else's authenticity. Stop. Be unique. Be authentic yourself. If you wonder how those designers and stuff like that sell those clothing, because they design what they want, how they feel, and you're like, look at this. Like, what the heck were they thinking? But everybody's wearing it because the vibrations that you put into everything have those vibrations. Now, not as strong as, other vibrations in the world, but if you know how to read them, some vibrations speak more than others. Music is vibrations. Beats are vibrations. Care is vibrations. I mean, everything. Everything vibrates. Even the atoms, they vibrate. So there's different frequencies for everything. And if you're trying to reach a certain type of group of people, you have to get above or at their level of frequency when it comes to vibrations. And that's how you end up getting in higher positions, higher places, fake it till you make it type thing. So if you have any questions and you want me to try to help answer them, you just comment below. Make sure you like and share my videos, because I just want to get the knowledge out there. I love some of your guys' comments. Like, you have no idea. It's amazing. I love meeting other people with these kind of vibrations. And I'm trying to prove it to the world, but I also had it proven to me that a lot of us are awake. We just haven't been able to find each other. So let's call this a connection. If you like my videos and you like my personality, subscribe, and if you do the same thing I'm doing, and then you'll start to meet more and more people on the same frequency and vibrations as you. That way, when you have a question, you can just hit them up and be like, hey, I haven't went through this journey yet, and I'm about to go through it. And I know that, you can only give me your story and your advice, but I just kind of want to get a feel of what I'm getting into. And that is great because, it's up to you whether you accept it or not. If it sounds good to you and you accept it and it doesn't go as great, make sure you're right with your vibrations. It starts with you. It starts with the root chakra, which I was avoiding for so long. And it's different for every person because every person has a different story, a different walk, a certain starting point and a certain base, for safety. And so we can all get together and share our videos and meet more people in our vibrations, bring ourselves up to where when we walk down the street, regardless what we look like, what color we are, what kind of hair we have, we are the real us, and we will attract more people to wanting to know what's going on. And this is better than television because it's legit. You don't want everything to tell your vision. You want to know that you are authentic, you are beautiful, and you are going to attract everything you need in life. All you got to do is raise your vibes. And please keep watching. And if you have any knowledge that you feel like I was a little off on, please share it, because I am constantly always relearning the same things, because I feel like there is always something more you can learn. And I love to share knowledge. So make sure you comment. Rising vibes. Till next time.